All right, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we've got another completed commission. So today we have a Sisters of Battle Adepta Sororitas expansion commission. This is the second expansion commission to go along with the initial army the client has purchased. The initial purchase was for the combat patrol starter army, and then after that we did a nice expansion on top, and now here we are with the second expansion, and I think so far this is my favorite one. I'm a very big fan of the suits for the Adepta Sororitas. And, as we can see here, going full Nundum right here. So we have one Morvenval. We have 3 of the Paragon war suits. And then we also have 2 Mortifiers and 2 Penitent Engines. And these sisters are part of the Order of the Sacred Rose. One of my favorite paint schemes as well. So if you are new to the channel, obviously make sure to like and subscribe, share the videos. It really helps out the channel. It's absolutely free way you can support it. About once a week, we put out a video essentially showing off a commission that we have completed as it is getting ready to go out of the studio. This one, we've already submitted pictures and everything, and the client is very happy with it. They will be headed out the door, safely packaged and on the way. But before they are, obviously like to show them off here. If you are interested in anything like this, as far as like duplicating this yourself, or have any questions about, how we make the bases, how we do the various paint jobs, etc., feel free to ask down below. We always list the different styles, techniques, colors, all of that stuff, but occasionally something will be missing. So if something is, please feel free to ask questions. Obviously, really enjoy interacting with the community, answering questions, sharing tips, getting feedback, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at these sisters today. All right, so to get it started, here we have Morvenval, and obviously this is an awesome model, quite possibly my favorite from the range. And here she is on a custom-made ruin temple style base to match the rest of the army. If you haven't seen these bases before, they are custom-made by hand, each and every one of them using only Games Workshop components, as well as some super glue and sand and little bits of cork. So that basically gives them like the kind of like idea of like a broken down temple, maybe like they're defending or reclaiming a temple, going after some relics, etc. They go really well with the Adepta Sororitas, also the Adeptus Custodes as well. And for this one, obviously the armor is gold. I've used a combination of retributor armor, reikland fleshade, and some various gold highlights as well. And then for the white, we go ahead and base that with one of the Games Workshop whites, and then go through with the apothecary white contrast paint to give it a little depth. And then, of course, we have some various other tones as well. I went ahead and did a video recently sort of comparing this style of basing and technique between, some of Games Workshop's products as well as the Army Painters. So if you haven't checked that one out, highly recommend you take a look. And then we've got basically the red underneath for the cloth, and then of course the black as well. So for the red, we are using mephiston red, and then for the black, that is the black templar contrast paint. And obviously awesome model. We've got little bits of the tesseract glow to give the weapon eyes and everything some glow. So combination of basically metallics, a couple of the standard citadel paints, and then of course our contrast paints as well. And next we have our Paragon war suits. So this is the leader of the squad, the Sister Superior, and she is armed with the mace and missiles. She also has like the cool, like ornate kind of candles on top. Very, very cool model. At first, I was a little taken back by these and honestly was not that big of a fan. And then for whatever reason, once Morvenval came out, I really just fell in love with these suits. And once I got my hands on them and painted a couple sets up and everything, they really have grown on me. And I do really, really like these models. Obviously, this came out really nice. One nice thing as well, they come with 3 different weapons. And while there are ways, obviously, you could magnetize them, they're basically set up so you can essentially just swap out the weapons, no problem. And they stay, they're not going to fall off, anything like that, even without magnets. So in this case, all you do is just kind of pull away from the body just a slight bit, and that will disconnect this little top piece right here, which is basically just pressure fit in there. And then just a gentle tug, and the bolter will come off. It is very important that you make sure you use the correct weapon, as each of these is separate for each of the different models. So each one has 3 weapons, the heavy flamer, the multi-melta, and of course the heavy bolter as well. And again, it's very, very simple to just put that back on. And once we give it a gentle little push there, we just make sure to line this up and then just kind of push that, and then that will stay in place. And then again, solid and secure. Very, very nice models. And again, they look phenomenal on these Ruined Temple style bases. A huge fan of this order, as well as just the overall finished product. These are awesome. And just taking a look at one of the other Paragon war seats. Again, very, very cool models. So much detail. They're just absolutely loaded up. The other two have the swords and the bolters, stormvaulters, as well as the choice between all of our 3 heavy weapons. And we did a combination of helmeted and unhelmeted heads as well, for just a little bit of diversity within the ranks. So no 2 models look the same. Again, very happy with these. Absolutely love these models. They are super, super cool. Came out very, very nice. And then next we have first of the Penitent engines. So these are super cool because the kit makes the Penitent engines or the mortifiers. So in this case, obviously this is the Penitent engine. The main difference being what the pilots look like, and then also obviously you have your choice of weapons. So in this case, we went with the for the Penitent engine, has the flails and flamers. And then obviously this one is the male torso or body that comes with this driver, whatever you want to call it, slave. And these are cool too, because they actually the flails can actually kind of move around, which is definitely nice. All right, and then here is the next of the Penitent engines. This one is the male that comes in the set. Again, you can move the flails, kind of pose them around. The arms are able to be moved and removed. And again, I really like the idea that you could basically build a bunch of different combinations from the same kit. There's basically 2 different bodies, like legs, 2 different torsos for each of the Penitent engines and the mortifiers. And then you have your choice, obviously, of the 2 sets of weapons as well, either the flails or the saws, and then the flamers or the bolters. Very, very cool models, loaded with detail. All right, and then here we have the first of the mortifiers, armed with the heavy bolters and the saws. And then this one has the sarcophagus for sort of like the squad leader, basically. Gets a little bit better of a save, some extra little abilities. Very, very cool models. Absolutely love the detail. And it's super cool. The arms rotate. They look really in motion. Definitely very dynamic poses. And last but not least, we have the second of the mortifiers. This one we have is a female. Very cool. It's got all the little injection things going in there, fueling her up and keeping her in the battle as long as possible. Again, we see the bolters and the saws. Fully posable, so you can build these just a ton of different ways. One thing that's very important when you're mounting these to the base, because they are very dynamic, is to make sure that the way you position the second foot, that you can get a nice solid contact. So you have 2 strong points of contact, so they don't break or come off during transport or gameplay. Because obviously it's cool to look nice and everything, but they need to be durable as well. So very cool models. Definitely a fan, and look awesome on the Ruined Temple style bases. And there we have it. That is all for the Order of the Sacred Rose, Adepta Sororitas, Sisters of Battle Expansion Commission, featuring more Venval, and obviously 3 of the Paragon warsuits, 2 of the mortifiers, and then also 2 Penitent engines as well. Very happy with how these came out, and again, another nicely completed commission expansion. And these will be safely packed up and out the door, off to the client, so they can get in some reps on the tabletop. Very happy with the overall look of these. They're super cool, and when you get the whole army together, they're just absolutely stunning on the tabletop. The Sisters of Battle range was long awaited for a refresh, and I have to say, they are just absolutely stunning. The entire range is probably one of, if not my favorite, from the Games Workshop 40k line, or just overall in general. It's so nice. So very cool, loaded with detail. They take really well to contrast paints and metallics, and then of course the customization of the handmade Ruined Temple style bases really just takes them to the next level. So that is it for today. If you enjoyed the commission, make sure to like and subscribe. Keep your eye out for typically about 1 commission video a week as they come out of the studio. And obviously, if you're new to the channel, we do 1 video at least every single day. Everything to do with Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, and some Horus Heresy. Daily content, reactions, reviews, and news. And then, of course, painting, modeling, conversion, and magnetization tutorials. and then of course our once a week commission videos as well. So make sure to like and subscribe, really helps out the channel. If you have any questions or anything, let me know down below. Glad to answer those for you. But that's it for today, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.